All right, Valerie, thanks so much for chatting with me today. So obviously you just went through HBA 2.0, and I am most curious to hear about what you were struggling with before HBA and the biggest thing that HBA has done for you now that you've gone through one round, and obviously you're going to be in all of the rounds to come this year. So what comes to mind for that?
Okay, so the reason why I actually joined HBA, and this, I mean, this might be funny, but I thought it was like a fitness thing for the longest. Like I had followed you for a while before this, and I just like that's not where my mind was going. Like I wasn't looking for like a fitness thing. Um, but when I think you had posted something like a real time reaction of someone signing on for HBA, and it was like a coach or something, and
Mhm.
I'm a coach, and I like looked at your reaction, and you're like, oh, this is gonna help like her clients, and I was like, how is a fitness program gonna help her client? Okay, hold on, wait, hold on, I'm like misunderstanding, and so that's when I asked you like, what is this that you're talking about? Because then I was interested in like how me as a coach could help my own clients. And then you sent me like this beautiful magical sales page, and it was like you literally spoke into my soul for like things like not even just with my business, but like my life,
Mhm.
my relationships, my kids, most importantly. And I was like, holy shit, like that, what is this? Like, how would I not do this? Like, what are you talking about? So um I got into it because I was struggling with very like exact things that you said on your sales page. So it was like, literally the day before this, and like this is embarrassing to like talk about, kind of hard, but like when I get mad, I go from like 0 to 100. And like the day before that, I had thrown like a box of cereal and like it exploded all over my kitchen. And I just was like, I don't want to fucking do that anymore.
Mhm.
And literally at the bottom of like the page you had was like something very similar to that. And like my kids were around. Not that I like they were around, but like I would never do anything like to them, but like they're around when I do shit like that. And it's like I don't want them to grow up in an environment like that. And I like it starts with me. And I've been trying to do like certain things, like I've been on medication on and off for the last like several years. I've gone to therapy. Um, I've read books, all the things, and nothing has quite helped me in that regard. And I actually signed up for HBA. I got the idea to like help my clients, but then I actually signed for it to help my kids.
Yeah.
Like help me help my kids. So I wanted to be like a better fucking mom. Like I don't want to go from like 0 to 100 in like 5 seconds. I have now learned that that's like a capacity thing.
Sure.
And I really like didn't have any capacity for anything. And like small, minuscule things felt like a bear attack to my body. Like, and now I can realize that and now I can understand that. But like before this, and there's nothing wrong with like being autistic or like doing this and that, but like I am someone who has Googled, like, am I fucking autistic? Because I can't, you know what I mean? Like I'm searching for like this diagnosable thing that is like abnormal to like or like different. Like, why am I like this? Like why do I step on like a thing and like my brain explodes? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, why do I get an email from my boss who is like kind of a bee, but like the email shouldn't send me in a way that it does, right?
The
Um,
reactivity around these experiences.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I have just like I just was looking, I have been looking for HBA for a long time. I just didn't know. And it has taught me the biggest thing HB has taught me, and it has rippled into every single aspect of my life is again like the capacity part where like I can understand myself a lot more now. Like I just thought like why the fuck are you like this? Like, and I'm mean to myself, honestly. Like I talk to myself in ways that I would never talk to like another human being. And I realize now that like I do that. And it has given me a little bit of space to practice not doing that and talking to myself how I would like my kids. And I don't know if that sounds silly, but like the more I talk to myself, like I would talk to my 4-year-old, the more grace I have with myself.
Yeah.
And so um it's a huge capacity thing. And when I now like I'm starting to recognize certain patterns that I have, and like when I get to a certain point, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. Like I can actually like take a second, hold on, wait, and like feel about it and then like make a better decision than I would have beforehand. So um it's huge. It's like that's the biggest thing. Another like sub thing that has just occurred is that like for my business, I am getting so much more shit done than I was before.
Telling me too, you're like, I'm this much done. I'm this much done. And I'm like, let's go. That's so awesome.
It's actually so fucking cool. Like I'm able to like I'm someone who has procrastinated things that like don't make a lot of sense. So like things like I know that I want to get done and things that aren't even super hard, but like I put them off, put them off, put them off, put them off, and it like makes no sense. Well, not make sense, but before it didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And like you have certain strategies that help me like sit the fuck down and like focus and do the thing. And it takes less time to do the thing that I was like procrastinating. Like the length of time of procrastination was more than just sitting the fuck down for 19 minutes and just getting it done. So
Mhm.
like super cool.
I say that
Yeah.
all the time too. Like it actually is not as hard to do these things that you guys are so petrified of
Hmm.
doing. And the reward,
Right.
just do them is like we talk about that evidence in HBA. It's like you
Yeah.
start stacking that type of evidence. That's where especially for those of us that are business owners,
Yeah.
that's the difference between having a business that kind of goes okay but drains the life out of us and having a business that doesn't tank us in the process and is actually at the level of success that we want it to be. Like we had to reschedule this discussion because you're over there booked and busy. Like you're like, I can't do it. I'm like, hey,
Sorry.
mad. I'm not mad. Do your thing. So
Yeah.
I love that so much. And just like seeing the feedback that you keep sending on for you specifically, I've noticed like it's the procrastination. I feel like that has really shifted for you
Yeah.
within your business and tying it into the capacity and then the ripple effect on the kids. Like those are, if I built HBA for anything, also as a business owning mom myself,
Yeah.
like I built it like nail on the head. That's exactly why it exists and what I hope people like let themselves experience because it, like you said, you've been looking for HBA your whole life. I think I've Googled the same thing before. I know a lot of people that have Googled
Yeah.
that. So
Yes.
because we get in our heads about like, is it like what's wrong with me? Why do I think this way? Why do I struggle? And when you actually start to piece it together, just the opportunity that it starts to open up, not just for the business, for your professional life, but for personally, and especially like how it ripples down to the kids. I agree. It's huge. And I'm so thankful that you thought it was a fitness program. And you're like, well, let me see what this is. Like, I love that. I tried to make it so clear that it's not a fitness program, but I clearly need to start to keep making that distinction. The other question I wanted to ask is obviously you're a mom, you run a business, so you got a lot going on. One of the biggest things that I hear people say they are hesitant about when it comes to HBA is it's feeling like it's another thing that they have to keep track of and do. So, as far as how HBA was delivered to you, you're already shaking your head like, no, it was easy.
Oh,
How,
yeah.
yeah, like as far as the way that you actually participated in the experience, was it easy to fit in given your school kid drop offs, business, yeah, talking with parents because you're a sleep consultant, right? Like you're doing a lot. So was it easy to follow along with and actually retain the information that was being given to you? What was your take on that?
Yeah, so actually HBA is really neat. I have actually never seen anything like it. And so I am someone who has two jobs. So I work per diem in a hospital. So I work 12-hour shifts a couple of days a week. Really stressful job. And then on top of that, I have my business. On top of that, I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a bonus 16-year-old son and a
Wow.
husband. Okay, so it's like a full thing. And that's just a little background. And I did it easily. So like the way that you deliver shit literally to my phone is like insane. And so um like the audios and the graphics and stuff literally are just sent straight to my phone. like ding, ding, oh, there's Kate. Okay, what magic is this? Do you know what I mean? And it's like it felt really easy and like there is a little bit of predictability to it. So like sometimes you send things at like certain times and like that I literally look forward to like the time. So I would like wake up a little bit early. So like in the mornings during HBA, I set my alarm a little bit early so I could listen to the training before I even started my day. And that was like super helpful. I literally was just like in my bed, like underneath the covers, so like I don't wake my husband, but just like listening to it just to give you a visual. But it's
I
really
love the
easy and
visual.
like it's really easy. And sometimes I would just listen to one like a couple of times if I needed to, especially for like those ones you're like, you know.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, that was for me. Like, okay, I should listen to that again. And it's all like very digestible and like the lengths. So like I have 12 minutes to sit down and listen to something, or
Uh,
like I'll make the 12 minutes somewhere if it's like if I have to wake up a little bit early, or if like before I go to bed, I'm like, well, maybe I should listen to it.
mhm.
Or like read the thing. And the way that the lifelines are set up.
That was going to be my next question. How do you feel
Oh,
about that
yeah.
feature of the program? I mean, perfectly. Go right into it.
Yo. Okay, so like lifelines insane. I was
Thank you
like,
for matching my energy because that is how I literally am like, how does everyone not understand how cool of a feature this is? And this is just
yeah,
one feature of the program. It's
this
so
one.
unique and cool.
Yeah. So, okay. Listen though. Listen. When I am in the state, okay, I get to the state and now like I'm much better. Like day one HBA Val, I mean Val today, totally different. And it's so neat. Um, to have the lifeline reachable to you in like 2 seconds of when you're like actively spiraling, it could be like you're spiraling from like work stuff, you're procrastinating, you're feeling freezy. There's like lifelines specifically for that. Or like the first week of HBA was like I don't not like an educational thing, but like getting to know myself a little bit better and like handling things. And okay, so like the first lifeline I ever used, I actually tried it on the Sunday before the Monday that we started, okay? And I was going through it. I was bawling my eyes out in the fetal position in my bed. I had just gone through like a thing, and I grabbed my phone, okay, just to give everyone a visual of what happened on the first lifeline. I'm losing it. Like hyperventilating, tears down my face, fetal position. And I'm like, I wonder if this is set up yet because it wasn't supposed to be like ready until Monday. And I'm like, let's fucking see because I need something right now. Like, and I did it. And the very first lifeline, I read it and I was just like,
Mm,
okay. It was like, I don't want to say what it was, but it just was like the most helpful thing
that
ever. And like
exhale is everything.
in that, yeah. And I was like, okay, okay.
We're in
I'm
it.
super fucking happy I did this. Okay. And I was like, all right. So then um to have those lifelines, and the lifelines are like eerily, really eerie in the way that they're like so perfect to like what you're doing. Like I feel like you have binoculars in my fucking house. Like you're like, oh, I know what you're doing. Here's something to help with that. Like no matter what it was, like what I was going through, like what I was like reaching for the lifeline for, it was like, here's some like perfect thing to help you like inch your way forward. So yeah, that was
I definitely have, but don't have binoculars on you guys at all times. No, it's the reason why they work that way is because, at the root of what you're struggling with in those moments, we know it's dysregulation and we know, all right, without us going into it for the people
right.
that don't know yet, we know why your system responds that way. And we know what is happening and what the system ultimately needs. And so even though all the lifelines are different, they all serve one common purpose. And in my opinion, the reason why I think the lifelines are so cool is because I mean, throughout the experience, you get access to over 40 different ones. You really only need to find 4 or 5 that work really well. And then that
Yeah.
becomes like, and I'm not going to say which ones I know work well for you because I can remember
Hmm.
them, but
Yeah.
like the one that you hold in your hand
Yeah.
specifically. But like that's the to me, like that's the cool part is like separate of everything else that HBA gives you to be able to come in, experience the program, and then leave knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you have 4 to 5 tools that in those moments, the fetal position, the hyperventilating, the panic, the doom spiraling, whatever it is, you have 4 or 5 different things that you can do that will pull you out of it and allow you to get back to your day. This state of life that I used to live in, I made HBA because it's what I needed back then, and it would have changed everything for me. So I fully agree. I think the lifelines alone sell the program. And that's they're just such a small, part of the whole thing. So yeah, I love that you've got your toolbox. And honestly, your toolbox will probably continue changing as well as you continue to expand yourself. And ultimately, when that happens, you receive more stuff comes in and new challenges come up. But that's the
Right.
beauty of it. Like, it's possible, you allow yourself to shift and adjust. So, last question I have for you, and then I will let you go. There's a lot of people that are on the fence about HBA or that are just afraid. Maybe it's what if I don't finish it, or what if it's not for me, or they think it's a fitness program. There are probably a lot of people that think it's a fitness program. But for anyone that happens to watch this that might be on the fence or might just be like, I kind of interested, but like, I don't know, I'm talking myself out of it. I'm afraid. What would the advice, what is the advice that you would give them or what would you want them to know?
Literally, listen to me. Fucking do it. Like literally, like there's just simple. Like where I was a month ago, or what is this, 6, 7 weeks ago when HBA, I've gone through school of sabotage now. That was super helpful.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
That was good.
mm, uh, and just like you said, like I have things where I know that are super helpful now, like what with this.
Yeah.
And there's a certain song,
Yeah.
and like I will literally, it's really cute. Like my 4-year-old will say, Alexa, play the song. And like we'll have little dance parties and like she calls it mommy's happy song. And it's
Aw.
like the cutest thing. And it's like my 4-year-old is like recognizing me differently. Or like my husband even has been like, I didn't tell him I was doing this. I should, but I was like, um, not embarrassed that I needed help, but like I just like wanted to see first and then kind of tell him. And then, so he doesn't actually know that I'm doing any of this. And he had said something like, oh my God, like, you're happy. And I'm like,
Aw.
I almost could cry. Like, so
That
my
is
husband is noticing the difference in me. Um, I am happier just like in general, like I'm lighter. And like when I get to those states, I am focusing more on like, um, getting like moving forward in them instead of like pushing them down or like trying to avoid. And in doing that, I spend less time in that state. So if like I just accept, I'm like, okay, all right, body, like what are you trying to tell me right now? What do you need? Like instead of like either like doing that really mean
Mm.
talking to myself or like you're fucking stupid for feeling this or whatever it is. I'm not doing that anymore. And I am spending less time in those states now that I know how to like work through them and like inch my way forward. And everyone that is important to me in my life has like noticed something.
Yeah. That's worth
So
it.
like
That's so
literally, yeah, if you are wondering, literally just do it. Like that would be my advice.
I love
It has probably been like the top 5 best things I've ever done in my entire life.
I love that.
That's really up there. It's really up there. Yeah.
I love that so much. And the best part, you have HBA the whole year. You have the whole year. It's just gonna
Literally.
get better. It's just
And
gonna
then also anyone that's not in the hive, what are you doing? So like what okay, just to really just push people because what are you doing?
I mean, all agree. I felt like I tried. I feel like I tried to make it
Yeah.
such a no-brainer for once you're done with HBA to just do the Hive. And
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a solid group of people in the Hive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that did HBA that did not move forward with the Hive. And I got my eye on them. I'm gonna keep an
Yeah.
eye, make sure they're good, and if they're
Yeah.
not, we'll
Yeah.
flutter my way back into their life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've loved this conversation so much. I love that we have secret hand signals that we know. Um,
Yes.
and I really, really genuinely appreciate you giving me a little bit of time today. And more than anything, I'm just glad that you said yes and you just trusted yourself to try it out because it has been really cool. The business owner and me seeing the business owner in you, like it's been so cool to see that change because I used to struggle with the same things and everything about being an entrepreneur became so much lighter once I figured it out.
Yeah.
And, like because entrepreneurship is hard as it is, like why are we making it 10x harder? And so to
Right.
see that, to just know that like more than what you're telling me, I bet I know what that feels like for you is a really, really cool feeling. And then just again as well, like see the ripple effect on your family. It's like chef's kiss. That's everything. So, thank you again so, so much.